now. That should be better. So thank you for letting me know about audio issues on Instagram. Whenever you guys are ready, hopefully all of you use this time to arrive, open your eyes, remove any blocks you might have, and let's move into our practice. As I said, slightly shorter practice today. So we're gonna kick off in hands and knees, coming to your nice tabletop. Since we are doing back bends, let's warm up our spine here. So inhale, press firmly into your hands, come into your cow, look towards your ceiling. Exhale around your back, look towards your navel, press firmly into your hands. We're going to do this for total number of 10 cat-cows. So move at your own pace. With inhalation, you're looking up, pressing firmly. Exhale, look back at your navel. This is number 3. Continue at your own pace. Awesome stuff, you guys. Couple of more times. Warm up your spine. Really emphasize that extension and flexion of the spine. Don't just focus on your lumbar spine either. The entire part of your spine. And neck. Consider the neck as an extension of your spine, the cervical spine. Right, so awesome work. Whenever you're ready, come back to neutral. From here, push back into your first down dog. Let's keep our knees bent a lot here. Relax your neck, look towards your knees. Inhale, the right foot reaches back, step it forward in between your hands, come into a low lunge. Inhale, hands reach for the ceiling. So here, we're already gonna start practicing our back bends. So low lunge, stay in your low lunge, don't move, but just wanna turn to the side. Low lunge is our form of a back bend. So if you bring your hands a little bit over your head, maybe interlace your fingers, have your index fingers pointing up, pressing firmly into that in the left leg will allow you to go into a little bit of a back bend, right? Natural back bend is occurring here. And then exhale, frame the front foot. Extend the right knee, flex the foot. Frame the foot again, step back into your down dog, keeping your knees bent. Inhale, the left one reaches for the back of the room. Step it forward. Same thing on the other side. Inhale up into your low lunge. On the opposite side. Interlace your fingers. It's almost like when you were a kid, right? And you're making like imaginary gun with your hands. This is the interlace you want to have here. And then with an inhale, open your chest slightly and move in a micro back bend. Now it's really important that you move over and out. You're not just compressing your lower spine and going into a back bend that's pressing into your lower spine. That's not going to be good for your lumbar spine. You want to move up and over, okay? Extend through your fingertips and then move into your slight micro bend. Exhale, frame the front foot, straighten the left knee, half split for a second, open your chest. Exhale, frame the front foot, step it back into your down dog. Awesome work. One more time, each side. Inhale, right foot reaches back. Exhale, step it forward. Inhale. Eyes follow the fingertips, reach for the ceiling first. And then with the next inhale, come up and over. You should stay in your a low lunge in your crescent moon pose, you should feel this back bend is coming from your mid back as opposed to low back. So focus on that mid back. So up and over. Awesome. With the next exhale, frame the front foot, straighten the right knee, flex the right foot, warming up our hamstrings. Frame your front foot, step back, down dog. Or, down dog can still be with your knees bent. Inhale, the left foot reaches back. Exhale, step it forward. Let's go. This same low lunge or crescent moon pose on the left side. So inhale, hands reach for the ceiling. Find your interlace. Make that imaginary little gun with your hands. And then inhale up and over. Open your chest. You might even have your elbows open to the side a little bit. Exhale, frame the front foot. Extend your left knee, same thing. Opposite side. Inhale, frame the front foot, step it back. Down dog. Just gonna move my mat here a little bit. From your down dog, step both feet forward. Inhale into your half lift, place your hands on your shins. And we're not going to go into forward fold, but place your hands on your waist. And then long spine to come up. Inhale, inhale, inhale. Come all the way up. We're moving slightly more quick today because I want to get the work in and we don't have so much time. Inhale, hands reach for the ceiling. Same thing, interlace your fingers. Your index fingers are pointing up. You can even interlace your thumbs one over another, so it's just the fingertips, the index fingers are pointing up. Keeping your torso nice and relaxed. Up and over, come into your back bend, push your hips forward. And then exhale, forward fold. Let's do 3 rounds of sun salutation to warm up. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step back, both of your feet back. Firmly pressing into your hands. Adjust your hands so they're underneath your shoulders. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Pull yourself forward. And then lift off your chest off the mat, keeping your hands next to your side. Baby cobra. Inhale back to tabletop. Inhale, cow, look up. Exhale, cat. Look towards your navel. Sit back to your child's pose for a second. Come back to tabletop. Curl your toes behind you. Push back into your downward facing dog. Stay here for 5 rounds of breath. If you're starting to warm up, you can start to straighten your knees. I haven't moved much today. Prior to this class, I was in meetings since early morning, but I had some amazing conversations with people today. I feel so energized and pumped. It's just the day's been going so well, and it feels good to move now as well. Awesome work, you guys. With the next exhalation, bend your knees. Step both of your feet forward. Inhale into half lift. Exhale into forward fold. Get your hands on your waist. Long spine to come up. Inhale, 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 inhale. Exhale, hands by your side. Inhale, hands reach for the ceiling. Interlace those fingertips. Interlace your thumbs as well, but this time change which thumb goes on top. Make it look or feel weird. You know, usually for me it's my right thumb that goes on top. When I get my left one to go on top, it feels weird. Reach for the ceiling, keeping your shoulders relaxed, and then up and over into your back bend. Press your hips forward. Bend towards the back of your mat. Exhale, forward fold, release the interlace. Inhale into half lift. Step both of your feet back, high plank pose. Let's go knees, chest, chin. Pull yourself forward. This time inhale, torso comes up. Elbows by your side, firmly pressing into your hands. Open chest, full cobra. Before we move into our down dog, pull yourself back into your tabletop for a second. Inhale, cow to look up. Exhale, look towards your navel, coming to your cat, working on its spinal flexion and extension. Push yourself back into your child's pose. Inhale back to tabletop. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Nice and easy, guys. Effortless. Let's flow from one pose to another. Eliminating all the unnecessary movements. We're gonna hold this down dog slightly shorter. So one more round of breath. Look forward with the next exhalation. Bend your knees. Step forward. Inhale into half lift. Exhale into forward fold. Strong feet engagement, pressing firmly into both of your feet. Get your hands on your waist, long spine to come up. Inhale, 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 inhale. Exhale, hands by your side. One last time, interlace the fingers, index fingers pointing forward. Let's do the thumb interlace opposite to what we did the last time, and then inhale, hands reach for the ceiling, keeping our torso relaxed, as much relaxed as possible. Maybe our hands are slightly in front of us. Check your feet, make sure they're not drifting apart. And then with the next inhale, up and over, pushing your hips forward. Your lower abs are tight and you're reaching for the back of your mat. Don't forget to breathe. What happens for me, I start to hold my breath when I move into back bends. Exhale. Forward fold with long spine. Inhale into half lift. Exhale back. Come into your high plank pose. Hold your plank pose for a second. Tuck your tailbone. Press firmly into your hands. Externally rotate your elbows. All of that good stuff. From here you can do knees, chest, chin, or if you want, come into your Chaturanga Dandasana, rolling over the tops of your toes, bending your elbows, your shoulders come in line with your elbows, and then from here inhale into your cobra or upward facing dog. Lower your knees if you're an upward facing dog, come into your tabletop. One last cat-cow. Inhale, look towards the ceiling. Exhale, around your back a lot. Look towards the navel. Go all the way back to your child's pose for a second. Inhale back to tabletop. Exhale back. Downward facing dog. Inhale, the right foot reaches back. Step it forward in between your hands. The left knee is off the mat. Inhale, interlace the fingers. Eyes follow the fingertips. High lunge this time. And maybe we come into a micro back bend here as well. There's already a back bend naturally occurring. Exhale, frame the front foot. Hop the back a little bit closer, straighten the right knee, and just come into a half lift here. We don't have to fold over, sorry, our right knee. I don't know if I said left knee. I meant the right knee. So we don't have to fold over completely over the right leg. Just coming into a half pyramid pose here for a second, and then plant your feet and your hands down, step back into your down dog. Inhale, the left foot reaches back. Exhale, step it forward. In one motion, inhale into high lunge on the opposite side. Press firmly into your front foot and your back foot. The feet are parallel. You're gazing towards your fingers. There's a naturally occurring micro back bend. You can sort of deepen it slightly by doing that up and over. Exhale, frame the front foot, step it back, downward facing dog. One last time. With the next exhalation, bend both of your knees. Sit back into your child's pose. Open your knees as wide as your mat. Really relax your forehead down to your mat. We're not going to stay here very long. Just regain the sense of inflows and outflows of your breath. And then with the next inhalation, bring your forehead off the mat, slide forward, lie on your belly. So our back bends can be done either on our belly, so the back bends on our mat can be done either on our belly or on our back. So today we're going to explore the ones on our belly. And typically we do a locust pose here, we do Sphinx and pyramid pose, but I also want to introduce a bow pose today as well. So to get us ready, roll or pull your fingertips back in line with your chest. Your elbows are parallel, reaching for the back. Your feet are close together, the tops of feet are on the mat. Pressing into tops of the feet. Inhale, bring your chest up, your chin up without pressing too much into your hands. Again, think about extension of the spine, pressing firmly into your feet and extending to your toes as well. Exhale to come down. Inhale, chest and chin off. Extend to your toes and through the tops of your head. Through the top of your head. Exhale to come down. Walk your hands forward. So I want you to place your forearms on the mat. Your elbows should be directly underneath your shoulders. And then inhale, bring yourself up, come into a Sphinx pose. It's a little bit more passive than some of the back bends we were doing. Just to show you this one. For this one, for a Sphinx pose, if you're just hanging out in your apartment or watching something on Netflix, you can put a little blanket, roll it up, put it underneath your hips, and come into this Sphinx pose. This will elevate your hips so there isn't a lot of, it will kind of ease off the pressure in the lower back. And you can stay in this pose for 5 to 10 minutes while watching a show and then switch. It's a great way to work on your back bends. You can stay here, or if you want to try out You can raise your elbows off the mat, straightening your arms without changing where your hands are. Keep your chest open, shoulders relaxed, as opposed to shoulders internally rotating, externally rotate and open. Extend through that lower back, don't just crunch it. And then exhale, release your elbows down. You might have already been here, and then exhale all the way down. Get your forehead on the mat. Awesome work, you guys. Next, I want you to reach back for the back edge of your mat with your fingers, so your fingers are by your side. Bring your chin off the mat, look slightly in front of you. Bend your knees, have your shins parallel and reaching for the ceiling. You can also flex or point your feet. Okay? And from here, the only thing we're going to do, so our chin is off the mat, our hands are on the mat reaching back. Inhale, lift your knees off the mat if possible. Just your knees. And then inhale, lift off your chest as well. There's a lot of work in our glutes here in order to support this movement. Exhale to come down. It's one of those things that looks deceptively easy, but it's very hard. Okay, so look towards your screen just for a second, bring yourself up. This work that we were doing just with our lifting off our knees, that's the momentum you need. This is the work you need to put in with your legs in order to go into bow pose. And what I mean by bow pose, so just observe for a second. In bow pose, we are reaching for our ankles with our hands, and then your knees are coming off the mat. There is that same work, and then your chest is coming off as well. But the chest is coming off thanks to the strong engagement of your legs, and you're sort of bringing yourself up by firmly engaging with your legs. Your feet can be flexed or pointing up, and try to keep your knees parallel as possible. None of this, okay? So let's try it all. Relax all the way down. Please do not come out of your bow the way I did just now. We want to come out nicely and elegantly. So come down, bring your forehead on the mat. Bend both of your knees. And if you cannot reach your ankles here when you reach back, just do the locust pose we did before, when your fingertips and your toes are pointing back and they're both off the mat. That's the variation you're going to go with. If you can reach for your ankles, the first thing I want you to do is lift off your knees. So the same motion we just did. And then inhale, the chest and chin come off. Straight arms. And flex or point your toes here. Exhale to come down. We're going to do this one more time. And then we are going to... Actually, you know what? I'm looking at the time. If you want to practice this a little bit more, you know how to get into the pose. From here, let's exhale and come back into our child's pose. So we need to counter our forward folds with a nice child's pose. Let's balance it out. Walk your hands back towards your knees. Sit back on your heels and then curl your toes behind you. Come into your version of low squat. Excellent way to release the tension in the lower back. Counter our back bends. Inhale, the right arm reaches for the ceiling. Eyes follow the fingertips. Exhale, bring it down. The left arm reaches for the ceiling. Eyes follow the fingertips again. Bring it down. And then sit back on your mat. Straighten your legs forward. And we are going to finish our practice in one of the most traditional yoga poses, seated forward fold. Inhale, arms reach for the ceiling. Exhale, fold over your legs. And if you have a strap or a towel next to you, use it to wrap around your feet. And this will allow you to come further down, but also it will keep your spine straight. So unlike yin where we round a lot, here we want to keep our spine straight, and imagine we're bringing our chest towards our thighs. Your your chin is slightly tucked, you're looking down. You can even micro bend your knees. This will allow you to come down more, you'll have more control. And what I had planned for today's class is to stay in this seated forward fold for roughly 5 to 10 breaths. As I said, shorter practice today, so please remain in this seated forward fold for at least 10 rounds of breath, and then from there slowly roll back into your Shavasana. Gonna stay here for a couple more moments with you guys, but I do suggest you stay longer, just because we want to provide balance for our spine. Okay, you're welcome to stay here and then go into your final relaxation pose. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Shorter practice. I wanted to get it in 1% better every day, atomic habits. But I'll